right. Again, my name is Christina, and I'm here to talk about my son, Styles' kidney failure and how it happened and what we know so far and the process of us getting him a new kidney and getting a donor. So, like I said, this only happened a month ago. So you're doing this along with me, where I'll share with you everything we learn. It's a very, I can tell you now, frustrating situation. But let me start from the beginning with him. I was a young single mother with he, even as an infant, didn't pee very well and was chronically constipated. The doctors were very dismissive, and I brought it up endlessly with them all the way through his lifetime. I kept saying, he doesn't pee. He's always constipated. What can I do? This doesn't seem normal. And the doctors were like, it's perfectly normal. Some kids are that way. He also was not a very good eater. He was just really never hungry. He did breastfeed, and he breastfed till he was actually 3. And part of that is because he just didn't like food. And the doctors were like, if you can keep, nursing him, that would be great. As a matter of fact, I ended up, single, so I took jobs where I could be with him a little bit more as long as I could, so that I could breastfeed him to keep him healthy as long as I could. When he was about 3 months old, he started having breathing issues, which seemed really odd because it wasn't like asthma, even though that's what they were calling it, was childhood asthma. But he would suddenly just swell up with fluid. His lungs would get full, and they'd say, oh my gosh, he's got pneumonia. And they would put him on a bunch of steroids. And this happened repetitively through his childhood. He was always getting pneumonia, and I hated all the steroids he was on. I mean, there was inhaled and liquids. They did everything they could to keep the fluid draining out of his body. And again, he still wasn't peeing much, but they kept saying, well, that can be common for asthmatic children. And as a matter of fact, they put him into a school for asthmatic kids because they felt like I was not going to give him his steroids as needed. And I wasn't, because I felt awful at this little boy getting so many steroids. But it was the only way to keep him from getting these pneumonias. And because the times he did get them, he would drop weight rapidly. He became lethargic. And being that I didn't have health insurance, the doctors were not real excited for me admitting him into the hospital. So my mom and I would actually do most of this care of this very sick little boy. And so as he got older, we did put him into the school. And part of that was probably nice because they did make sure he got all his steroids, he did continue to do okay, even though he just continued to get sick. Well, as he got older, the doctor felt like there was too many steroids after a while, that he was just getting too much. They finally agreed with me. They said he's requiring more and more steroids all the time, and maybe this isn't healthy. And so they decided to reduce his steroids. When they reduced his steroids, he actually got so sick one night. He was, I think, 11 or 12. I don't actually remember. But he got so sick, I couldn't wake him up. And he started running fevers of like 102, 103. And I remember calling the doctor on the phone at the pediatrician's office and telling them, my son has this high fever and he's lethargic. And the doctor said, don't worry about it. Just go ahead